Sometimes things just don't work. What's up, everybody? So today I'm talking about Spectre. And this movie is a hard watch. I feel like it doesn't know what it wants to be. I feel like it wants to repeat the things that worked in Skyfall, but it also wants to add some new things while at the same time adding some old Bond-esque things from either the Roger Moore era or the Sean Connery era. And in the end, it's like I kind of think of it as imagine a comic book that has excellent panels, but every single panel has a different color palette. You have like an amazing black and white panel, and next to it is an amazing, you know, classic color panel, and then next to it is like modern and bright and everything. And individually, they're very, very well crafted, but once you put them together, it just doesn't really make sense. And that's a lot of what I feel about Spectre. I feel like the storyline, I can't even imagine. I can't even remember really what the storyline was, not in any coherent way. I just remember things in the plot happening. You know, Bond going to Mexico to do something, Bond going to a funeral for something, Bond going to Mr. White, who reappears after we saw him at the end of Casino Royale and only at the beginning of Quantum of Solace. Well, there's a short other moment that we also see Mr. White, but he definitely wasn't in Skyfall. And then we have Blofeld, who comes back, and then even the name Spectre over the organization, it finally appears, and there's like retconning happening. It's just a mess of things that they try to make coherent, but in the end, there's no through line, and it just kind of makes the watch difficult. Now, as far as what is good about Spectre, how about we start with that, since there's already a myriad of things that are not good about Spectre. Daniel Craig, as always, I mean, he's just a consummate professional as an actor, and he really brings everything he has to the Bond role, and it shows. He's still a great version of Bond. You have what I think is one of the best opening scenes ever in Bond, which is that oneer in Mexico City during Day of the Dead. Some of the cinematography and the lighting is impeccable. They didn't bring back Roger Deakins from Skyfall. I forget the name of the cinematographer that they used, but he does an incredible job of shot composition and how it, helps with character development and character introduction, setting the mood for certain moments. But like as using my comic book metaphor from earlier, it's just a lot of disparate things, being connected, but there's not much. It just doesn't blend well as it goes, and that was one of my main gripes with Spectre from a visual standpoint. I like Christoph Waltz. I mean, what's not to like? He's amazing in anything he does. At the same time, I feel like the way his character not only is introduced, but how it kind of evolves throughout the movie, I think did a disservice to his skills as an actor. I mean, it looks like they could be brothers, which eventually in the story it is revealed that they are half brothers. But it's the moment in the movie where Christoph Waltz says, "I am the author of all of your pain," which includes the death of M, the death of Vesper Lind, all the things that have gone wrong. It's like he's the one behind all of it. It was like the most forced retconning of everything. And it wasn't one of those moments in a story where like the big baddie is revealed and you're like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. You're just kind of like, huh? And okay. And then you have a little bit of hope that they're going to stick the landing and it all kind of comes together in the end. And it just doesn't. And then, of course, there's always my main gripe with it is zero chemistry between James Bond and the love interest Madeline Swan. None at all. I mean, when you think about the chemistry he had with um, Ava Green in Casino Royale, it was impeccable. It was built up little by little, with little conversations here and there, another interaction here, and then it kind of grows organically very well. And then in this one, there's nothing there, or as they say, there's no there, and it's just so forced on the audience that it kind of repels you. So I didn't buy for a second that this was going to be the next love of James Bond's life. I feel like he had more chemistry with Monica Bellucci, who has a very, very brief appearance. It almost kind of makes me feel sad that she wasn't tapped to be a Bond girl years before and have her role be something more substantial. I actually like Sam Smith's Writings on the Wall. I don't know why all the hate for it. I think it's a perfectly good song. Not as good as Radiohead's song that they submitted for Spectre, which is actually called Spectre. You can hear it on Spotify or go to YouTube and find it. And it's a great song. It's really, really good. I wonder why they didn't choose it. I guess they kind of wanted something that felt like Skyfall. But it would have, I think it would have been a nice change of pace because there's so much of Spectre that just tries to replicate everything that Skyfall did. Everything from bringing Sam Mendes back to direct it, to having it look pretty much the same, to have it be big and bold like Skyfall was, and then also having the song be kind of the same feel as Adele's Skyfall. Hey, in the end, it won the Oscar. I mean, it's still a great song. I still enjoy it a lot. But it was too much repetition and it didn't feel like an evolution, which I think is one of my main thing with Spectre. Is like you expect everything to build on the other in some ways, but it didn't. It just tried to turn everything up to 11 and then have that be enough. But if you turn every instrument up to 11, it just becomes noise, and that's what I feel Spectre is. Anyways, what about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.